Well, I've just used my machine for the first time, and it's amazing. Oh, Jesus. That's about an inch thick there. And it went through that like butter. It just, I didn't even know I'd done it. There's all the bits. I only took a little bit off the edge because it wasn't squared away, but my God, what a cutter. I didn't even know I'd done it. That must be about an inch at least. Yeah, different types of paper. It's 90 GSM as well, 90 grams per square metre. It's heavy paper, that. So I'm not going to cut anything thicker than that. I'm a bit frightened of damaging it, but my God, it does say it'll go to 1 3/4 inches, so that's 40 millimetres, so I'm very pleased with that. And everything worked. I'm not too happy about this arrangement. I do like a T-square arrangement where you can push it up and down. This is a bit floppy flippy for me. So I'll have to get something there where I can put a T-square in or something. I'll put my T-square in to level off and take that out the way. I think that's a bit of a mess for me. I'll figure something out about that anyway. That's the only thing I don't like about it. This bit flimsy, that. I'd sooner have a T-square in the back and then just line it up and then cut, because this holds it down anyway. Well, the other thing I found out was that I was a bit disappointed because one of my books, this one, if you look at it now, it's all nice and flat, but it's not in the bookmaking manuals or anything like this. But I was a bit disappointed because it took me a long time to do this. I'm flashing in and out and everything went right on the book. The back went in right. It was squared away. The things went in. I tried a couple of things new on it, and yeah, the back went in lovely. And but it bubbled up, and I thought, what's the matter here? Well, when you know immediately when it's bubbled up, it's got no glue. There's no glue there, or the glue's dried out. So once you've done that, you might as well throw the book away, as far as I can see, because nowhere have I read or nowhere have I seen anybody say you can fix a blowout, like a bulge or anything like that. Well, I've done them, and I defy you to find out where they are. You'd have to look really, really closely, and if you were just taking a cursory examination, I mean, I defy you to see where it is there. And there's about 8 or 10 holes on there. And a couple of them are obvious. But it hasn't dried out yet, and it's drying out quite well as well, so I'm quite happy about that. But what I used, I thought about it for a bit, and I thought, I'm going to lose it anyway, I'm going to throw it away. Well, I've got an ink set here, which I use for filling up my inks cheaply. I try and do everything as cheaply as I can because everything's so bloody expensive. And when you're working from a bedroom like I am, or like most people are, you can't afford to throw things away. And I didn't really want to throw that book away. So I think most people have got one of these. And it's not a hypodermic, it's well, it is a hypodermic. It's a syringe, but it's got if you look, it's got a flat end on, so it's not, you can't inject yourself with it or anything. All it is purely for putting colours into your ink, ink modules, which I've got there. So I keep refilling these up as many times as I can. The colour you have a lot of trouble with, but the black one, it fills up marvellously. So, and I do things mostly in black, so I'm not bothered. So you fill them up, and that's what I use. Well, these, if you haven't got one, you can buy them from, I think you can get them from Tesco's. It's with the ink, where they do inks for different things. Doesn't matter what type of ink it is, you just want this injector. So, the ink injector, so you just buy that, and you want the needle at the end, and you usually get them with the kit. They cost about £2 or £3, but it's worth getting if you want to save your books. And I don't care who you are, you're going to get bubbles. I mean, I've done everything. I've done loads of books, no problem, and then all of a sudden, bubbles. And what I did was, I got my PVA glue, and I took it out of the tube. I pulled it out of the container with the ink injector, and it was a bit thick to go down the tube. So what I did was I watered it down just slightly, not much, just slightly, and then I drew it up. So I put it in a container and then drew it out and watered it down, and it went up the tube. You don't need much. And then what you do, I used my little awl which I'd made. I'll find it. I put it somewhere. Panning around here. I should have got all these bits out, but I was talking about my machine earlier on, so it's always the bloody same. I can never find anything when I want to put my hands on it. Oh dear. Oh, here it is. I've got it here. There it is. My little lights come on. So what I did was, because the needle itself is flat ended, I used my little awl to prick the areas where the bubbles were, but don't go into the material. Don't go into the board itself. Otherwise, you'll leave a mark, and that mark will show up later on. So try and just get the material if you can. Just push it into the bubble, and then just enough so you can put your needle in. This needle, because this one won't push in on its own. So you've got your little bit of glue inside there, and then you just squeeze it in, and then press it down gently. There'll be a little bit of glue that comes out. So once that's out, you can wipe it off and everything else. And to cover up, you can put a bit of beeswax on if you've got beeswax, and just rub it on, and then just give it a quick polish, and everything will be okay. So I was very, very pleased with that. What I'd done, I'd reseated the spine, which was the main thing. I wasn't bothered so much about the other, but I'd reseated the spine, and when I opened the book, this had all bubbled up. And I did this technique on there, and it worked. So whether it's of interest to anybody, or I don't know whether I'll put this on YouTube or not, but if it is of interest, you're quite welcome to go and use it. And it does work, because there's the proof. There's the proof. It's not professional, and it's something that shouldn't happen in the first place. It means you've been lax. But sometimes it does happen, and if you don't want to spoil it, if you don't want to lose a book, just because of the cover, because there's not much else you can do that I know of apart from recovering it again, rebinding. And this will work. Well, it's working at the moment anyway. And I'm just leaving it to set. And there we go. So that's me finished waffling.